Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining. How have you been, guys? How have you been? Today we're going to be starting a series on waiting on God. Waiting on God. This is not something people like to hear a lot, but it is necessary because at the end of the day, it's always worth the wait. It's always worth it. I know many times we just feel we should pray and the answer should come just right there on the spot. It happens like that few times, but many times there's a process. We have to wait. We have to go through a process. And if we don't know how to go through it properly, we might feel God is unfair or God is slow. We might feel a lot of things are not okay. But when we learn how to wait, when we learn how to go through the process, then it will be easy. So that's what I'm going to be talking about few for a for a period of time. I'm going to be talking about that. And I pray even as we go through this series, God is going to talk to us, God is going to speak to us, and God is going to help us to wait appropriately in the right way to receive our promise from Him. Okay, so I'm going to go straight into the word. I have few verses, but I'm going to start from the very first one. Today is Proverbs 3 verse 5. Proverbs 3 verse 5. I'm going to be reading from the Message translation. It says, trust God from the bottom of your heart. Don't try to figure out everything on your own. Listen for God's voice in everything you do, everywhere you go. He's the one who will keep you on track. We know this verse in the King James Version as trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding, in all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your path. That's what I just read now in Message translation. This is just the beginning, the foundation of waiting. Before you want to receive anything from anyone, let's even start with anyone, people who can see randomly, right? People you can see face to face. Before you can receive anything from anybody, you have to trust the person. You have to trust the person. And you can't just be walking on the street now and a random individual walks up to you and hands you a nylon and you just collect it. In this Nigeria we are right now, it's very, very fatal to do that. Like, it's very dangerous. It doesn't even make sense. No one will just collect it without asking what is in it, who are you, why. Even if it is something you can see, maybe giving you, someone just walks up to you, gives you some cash on the street, and then you collect a thank you. Is it logical? It doesn't even make sense. It's not. The questions begin to fly, like, who are you, why are you giving me this, from where, what's the catch? You get. So the beginning of receiving anything from God is trust in God. And you can't trust God if you don't know Him. So right here, right now, I just want to encourage you. Know God for yourself. Accept the life of Christ. If you haven't done that, accept the life of Christ. Give your life, your being, your everything to Him. Surrender it all to Him. Then go into His word. Learn about Him. Listen to His voice. Spend time with Him so you can know Him. It's only when you know a person that you can now go ahead to trust the person. But if you don't know this person, you can't trust him. So the same thing goes with God. If you don't know God, you can't trust Him. You have to know that He loves you beyond anything in this world. You have to know that He loves you to the point that He gave His Son. He sent His Son to this earth to die. His only Son to die so He can have you as one of His children. He sowed His Son, His only begotten Son. He sowed Him in so He can reap many more children to Himself. And that's us. You are the apple of His eyes. He says He has engraved you on His palms. He says a whole lot of wonderful things about you. He says that you are worth more than the lilies, the flowers, the beasts of the air. He said you are worth more to Him than them. There are a lot of things that shows in the world that He loves you. A lot of things that shows in His word that He wants the best for you, that his thoughts towards you are thoughts of good at all times and not of evil, to bring you to the expected end. His word says that all every good and perfect gift comes from him. The word says that I'll look up to the hills, from whence comes my help. Like, if you don't go into the word, you won't know God. You won't know who he is, what he is about. You won't know the love he has for you. You won't know the things he has in store for you. And that will make it difficult for you to trust him. So the very basis, the very beginning of waiting on God is trusting him. You have to trust him. You have to trust that he will even want to give you this thing you're asking of. It goes a step further. It says, don't try to figure out everything on your own. When God has promised you something, when you are trusting God for something, you don't try to figure it out. Don't have a plan B. A plan B shows that you don't trust him. A plan B shows that you are doubting. You are doubtful. You don't believe that he can give you. You are trying to create another option. What if he doesn't give me? So don't try to figure it out on your own. Don't go, he has promised that he is going to give you a child, and then you are looking for other options. Okay, there's one baba somewhere that people go to meet, and he gives them something to drink or tells them to do certain things, and then they get pregnant. And you start to build other ways that you can go on in case trusting God does not work. The word of the Lord says anyone who has a double mind should not expect that he will get anything from God. So you have to trust God. Then don't try to figure it out on your own. When you are trusting God, release yourself to him. Release yourself to him. Trust him. Hold on to him wholeheartedly. Don't have a plan B. Don't try to figure it out on your own at all. Just yield totally and completely to him. We're just going to stop at this point of trusting God, and then don't try to figure it out on your own. The KJV says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. You know nothing. I can assure you. You might have all the degrees in heaven and earth. You might have gone to school. You might have gotten to PhD level. You might have studied different courses, but you know nothing. So lean not on your own understanding. Don't lean on your understanding. Don't try to figure it out on your own. Don't, because the God you are dealing with here knows the end of his thing from the beginning. Except if you can boast of the fact that, oh yes, as today is starting, I know the end of today. I know everything that is going to happen throughout today. I know it word for word. I can tell you this is going to happen. Except if you can boast of that, then you can lean on your understanding. But if you know you can't boast of knowing how the day is going to end, how a situation is going to end, how it's going to pan out, if you can't boast of that, then please, I'm begging you, don't lean on your understanding. You know nothing. You understand nothing. Don't try to figure it out on your own. If you have decided to trust God, then trust him totally, wholeheartedly, with your whole heart, with your full chest. Trust him with your full chest. And I can assure you that the wait is always worth it at the end of the day. I've waited for a lot of things. I waited when I was trusting him for my genotype change from SS to AA. I waited. The process was not easy, but at the end of the day, it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth the wait. So I want to encourage you today. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Don't lean on your understanding. And we're going to continue from there next time. This is going to be a very interesting and wonderful topic, and I pray that God blesses you even as you go on with this, and he's going to give to you that which your heart desires, and your wait is going to be worth it at the end of the day. All right, guys, see you again next time. Bye.